here.
Twitch. Oh, those are only the views after it's gone live.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't really spent time on it, so I'm just getting familiar with it.
What is... I'm going live. What is up, Stefan, Holly? I've been trying to get TikTok to work. I want to be able to do TikTok live streams via... what's it? The stream key. So I don't have to like hold up my phone. Just record with my phone. That's stupid. Hey Ricky, how's it going? Cat the Humanist. Jay Schneider, how's it going? Survival and Empathy. Stay for the after show, Survival and Empathy. I will be in the... You can join the Discord and ask questions and shit.
Yep.
Ah, it's blue.
Okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you pretty good there.
Okay. Jesus effing Christ. My computer decided no audio, no microphone, nothing's going to work. It's like, what the...
Tom, you're back.
What? I never left. What are you talking about?
Mr. Levi, how are you doing, sir?
I'm a bit frazzled. My computer, I decided to use a computer in a different room, and it decided that audio wasn't going to work.
Oh, okay.
At all.
Oh, no. Hate that when that happens.
Yes, I do too, very much so. I'm just really like, it just throws against the wall. And
so, this is what I want to ask you guys. So, usually what we're going to do is an opening and then a rebuttal, and then we go into the open discussion, then we go into conclusion, or closing remarks, and then the Q&A. As far as the rebuttal, it was brought to my attention that maybe you guys would want to call the shots on that. Like, how many minutes would it take to really... I mean, I don't know if you want to have like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, or does it matter, or what do you think?
I usually don't even have a rebuttal. It's more open conversation is better.
Okay, let's just skip the rebuttal then. What do you think, Tom?
Rebuttals usually come open, continue along the way.
Yeah. There you go.
So my rebuttal is he's wrong, I'm right. Done.
Done.
So do we go with an opening statement and then just go right into the conversation?
Open, yeah, let's do it that way.
We're doing morality, right?
Morality.
So
I thought we were debating which potato is better.
Yeah.
The Yorkshire?
Potato? I thought it was potato.
Sacrilege.
So I was reading something about that. So TJump, you're using objective morality grounded in like some unknown law of physics or something like that, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, right. Yep.
Okay, and then Tom, you're gonna ground morality in evolution, or is it subjective, or what is your point? As an objective morality?
Well, I guess subjective. I mean, it's.
That's what I thought. So you're saying like well, I'll let you.
Basically, the evolution is based off of empathy, and empathy is an evolutionary trait that you see everywhere.
Did you just say evolution is based off empathy?
No, I meant morality. Or yes, morality is basically
like throwing gays off of buildings. That's pretty empathetic. That's a moral code. Just a joke. Anyways.
Lack thereof.
Lack thereof. There you go. They would disagree.
Just a joke. No one clip that and just post it on every Twitter timeline.
Right. Atheists believe.
Atheists don't believe anything. Don't you know that?
Okay.
Right. So I guess Tom TJump is going with a more, I guess, pantheistic view of morality, and then you're going to go with a more subjective view. Is that the case? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
A naturalism type of argument versus subjective.
Morality is subjective.
Okay, gotcha.
People think being gay is immoral, and other people think it's just fine.
Right.
People also think the world is flat. Does that make that the size of the shape of the world subjective?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Friendly Tom, tilt your camera up just a touch, please.
No, Town, we need to see more of the beard.
Correct. Yeah.
Notice that it's,
just
we can't really tell. It's blue this week.
Yeah, it's only slightly noticeable. Only slightly.
Last week it was purple.
Smart. So, Scott, do you want to do or not bother them?
With the opening?
With the opening and
yeah, they might as well do like a little 5-minute opening or.
All right. So we'll do opening.
What do you think? 2 minutes, 5 minutes? What do you think?
And then open conversation.
Because both of you guys seem to be pretty straight to the point when you open up.
Wait, what was the question?
How many minutes for your opening? Like maybe 3 minutes, 5
1
minutes? 1 minute? Okay, cool. What about you, Tom? You good with that?
1 to 5.
1 to 5. All right, let's do it.
Do you want me to not do timers then? Like we usually.
Yeah, let's just keep it. Yeah.
All right.
Because
when I get to 4 minutes, there's somebody do this. Just
Well, I do have a timeout thing. So if you just keep talking more than 5 minutes.
Just 5 seconds in, I want to be like, Merp.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Scott, I'm going to do the graphic for opening, and then we'll do the graphic for open conversation, and then you guys. Then it's all you.
Word.
All right. If you guys are ready, I'm going to get started. You all set?
All set, brother.
see.
All right. There we go.
Good evening, my beautiful minds out there in debate land. So tonight we're going to have another great debate. I apologize for last weekend. I know I was a little retarded, but you know, I had to do what I had to do for the time. Anyways, for all you guys that are keep inboxing me, look, I'm not a Christian. That was just a joke. Everybody's inboxing me like, when did you convert? When did that happen? Welcome to theism. Welcome to Christianity, whatever. It's like, no, that was just a joke. Sorry. Anyways, tonight's not a joke. Tonight we're going to have my man TJump, who's going to be arguing for objective morality. And then we've got Tom, your friendly neighborhood atheist. Again, my opponent from last week. He's coming back for more beatdown. No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, Tom? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good.
You survived last week. How's it going, TJump?
It's going awkward because my name is also Tom. So every time you say he's Tom, I'm like, what? Why are you talking to me?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you're gonna have to really put your thinking cap on for this one.
Only my mom calls me that.
TT.
Yeah, TT. TJ and TT. All right. No, let's not do that. Okay. Anyways, guys, we're gonna get this started. We're gonna do a real short opening because I know you guys are straight to the point. Then we're gonna go right into an open discussion, into closing remarks and Q&A. But before I do all that, I just want to say, you know, Thomas Levi has his own popular YouTube channel. Thomas Levi, he likes to discuss different beliefs and the flaws behind believing in them. TJump, you know, he's got his own channel. He discusses theism and other topics from time to time, and he argues for naturalism and atheism. I'd also like to say, give a quick shout out to all our patron supporters like Sonny Shells, Phil Calderon, Jenna Mayu, Linear, Laura McGee, Oz, and Mikey Famine. Hello to everyone out there in the audience. Kat the Humanist, what's up, girl? We've got just questions. Never seen you before. We've got KC, I believe, is out there. Trent Steers out there. What's up, my man? Who else? Am I missing anybody? I'm just kind of scrolling through really quick. The Blazing Wizard Pope. Never seen you, never been introduced to you, but welcome. Eden's, what is that? Aquaponics? KCA Randy, again, hello. And anyone I missed, sorry about that, but we're going to have an entertaining show, really exciting. We're going to get right into it. So we're going to let you guys go into your opening. Who wants to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
All right, TJump is going.
Anywhere you go, give it
All right, so my view is that morality is probably objective, not subjective, because I think that we will discover a moral pattern through all different conscious entities throughout the universe, not just humans, in which case it definitely isn't a result of just human society. And if we discover it in different species that are not evolutionary based, like AIs or whatever, then we can prove it's not something that's a result of evolution. So if we discover morality or moral progress in AIs, then we prove it's definitely not a result of evolution. And so I think we will discover this when we discover other species, or build AIs. We will discover that their moral progress will be similar to ours, and we will see that morality is not simply a result of human culture or human evolution, and we will find it to be something objective. And I think the pattern in that will be discovered through moral progress. Like we can see how morality progresses through societies throughout time, and it seems to follow the same pattern. As we gain more resources and more intelligence, the scope of morality increases. And this pattern can be described with the principle that when we discover what objective morality is, it will probably be a world where it's impossible to force anyone to do anything they don't consent to, and that'll probably be the objective moral principle that we see throughout all life forms in the universe. End.
Right.
Conclusion. Applause.
Good job. Good job. All right. So he's bringing forth a really strong hypothesis with a prediction. So let's hear what you have to say, Tom. What is your argument here?
Well, my view is that morality is a evolutionary offshoot of empathy. And empathy can be found pretty much in mammals. You don't find any empathy in insects. You don't really find it in reptiles. You don't really find it in birds. It's primarily a mammalian-based behavior. And empathy you can pretty much find in all animals. Or it's just taking it a step further. Technology, and then you've got advanced technology. So morality is basically advanced empathy, where we've taken empathy and we've given it cause and purpose in the form of a god, and we've written laws to dictate empathy, and that has really kind of screwed things up. We've taken the empathetic behavior towards, say, homosexuality and called it immoral, which it isn't, but we've defined morality separately than empathy. We've taken empathy and we've kind of effed it up. But it's definitely an offshoot of, morality is definitely an offshoot of empathy, and therefore it's an evolutionary trait that we find in all mammalian species, maybe some avian species, not really reptilian, and I definitely don't find it in insects or plants. So you may find it in AI one day, but AI is typically an offshoot of a thinking, empathetic mind. So if you find empathy or morality in AI, it's because it's an offshoot of what we've created from it. So it would have gotten it from us. So it still kind of holds true as being an evolutionary trait. There you go.
Okay, cool. So, all right. So we think we have the groundwork laid here for the positions. So we can go right into an open discussion and see where we fall. Let's go.
Okay, so if we discover...
you're muted.
Okay, if we discover morality is possible in beings that are unable to feel empathy, does that disprove your hypothesis?
I guess.
Because psychopaths have morality. That's David Wood, Apologetics 315. He's a psychopath, but he understands morality. So does that disprove your hypothesis?
Well, I don't know. Do they? I mean, they understand what other people call morality. I understand what other people describe to me as physics, but I don't understand physics.
Well, so they have a model which they describe as morality, which has nothing to do with empathy. So morality can be a thing which is a system which has nothing to do with empathy.
Well, using morality basically as a behavior pattern, you're copying somebody else's morality, is again, it's an instinctual self-preservation behavior to mimic what others do so that you fit in. If you don't have empathy, you don't really have morals. A psychopath who feels no compulsion not to kill people won't kill people, not because he doesn't feel a compulsion to, not because he has morals, but because he knows he'll end up in jail. Or at least, he realizes that's a possibility. So what's stopping him is not a moral code. It's, I use the example of Dexter. It's kind of a it's a code, but it's not based on morality.
Well, so the example I gave of David Wood, he believes in a God who gives objective morality, and that's why he doesn't kill people. So it has nothing to do with acceptance in society. Also, your argument that morality has to do with acceptance in society seems incorrect also, because there are many people who refuse to do immoral things and are then kicked out of their society or killed in their society because they don't do the things they see as immoral.
Well, it's a self-preservation thing.
Well, so if people do things,
just don't give a damn.
Well, yeah. So if people choose to say this is immoral and I won't do it, even though you're going to kill me, they don't have self-preservation. They're going to die,
Yeah.
but they're choosing to do the moral thing, even though it leads to the opposite of self-preservation.
Okay, you lost me there.
So like, somebody says, "Tell me where the Jews are," and the Nazis are pointing a gun at you, and you say no, then they shoot you, you die, your family dies. No self-preservation, but you know that the moral thing to do is to not tell them. So you can be put in situations where morally what you think you should do is not what will lead to preservation. And there are many cases like that. Like morally, the moral thing to do is to give all of your money to charity. It's not very good at self-preservation. The moral thing to do would be to feed all of the hungry, which will then run out of food and everyone starve. Not really very good for self-preservation. The moral thing to do doesn't seem to have anything to do with self-preservation. In fact, kind of the opposite.
Well, that's like I said, that is the religious prescribed morality. That's where, empathy has gone askew. So are we talking religious morality? Or are we talking?
No, I'm talking about morality in general. It has nothing to do with religion. Like if we do,
because if I'm a German citizen and the Nazis come to my house and I've got Jews in my basement, and I don't tell the Nazis where the Jews are, it's because I have empathy. The moral thing to do is to not tell the Jews or not tell the Nazis where the Jews are. So my self-preservation is morality is not about self-preservation.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to killing, it's immoral to kill somebody, and I have a compulsion to kill people. I have no compulsion not to kill people, but I don't kill people because it's going to most likely land me in jail. Therefore, I don't kill people because I don't want to go to jail, not because it's wrong to kill people.
So, okay, so it's not about self-preservation. So I thought that's what you said before.
Well, no, I said often people who act in a moral way are mimicking moral behavior as self-preservation. Like the person who who has no compulsion not to kill, doesn't kill because he's copying the moral code of society. The
Well,
German
again,
citizen,
that's just not true. So, like David Wood, for example, is copying the moral code in Christianity, not because of his self-preservation. He's doing it because he thinks he's going to get an afterlife or whatever. It has nothing to do with self-preservation. Like, psychopaths can come up with codes which they think are correct and live by those codes. It has nothing to do with self-preservation. But again, those kind of people are still acting morally, even though they have no empathy. And it's not about self-preservation. They're doing it because they have some system they believe is correct. Whether it's
well,
society or religion or anything,
Yeah.
they just have a system they believe they should follow.
I'm an atheist and I'm moral because basically it's the right thing to do. I've talked to many Christians who said the only reason that I don't go around raping and killing and stealing is because there's a God and God tells me not to do these things. Are they moral?
Sort of. They're not doing anything immoral.
I mean, morality is, thou shalt not covet my neighbor's wife, and they lie about it because they're doing it.
Well, I don't think that's immoral. So,
Well, that's what I mean. Morality is subjective.
well,
What you decide is moral is, let's go back to your example of AI. If you program a computer not to kill somebody, with 3 of Eisenhower's laws, is that morality to not kill somebody because you've been programmed not to kill somebody?
Well, morality is about the consequences. So it's moral if no one dies, regardless of whether it was programmed or not.
Morality is about the consequences?
Yes.
How so?
Okay, so a perfectly moral world would be one where it's impossible to force anyone to do anything they don't consent to. That would be a perfectly moral world.
So moral by design. See, I guess I see morality different. I see morality as a societal structure of we do things because what's good for me is good for somebody else. It's the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto yourself. Moral behavior is we don't hurt others because it's wrong. Because basically we don't want those others to hurt us. We feel others' pain because we are empathetic creatures, and we call that morality. Now, the word morality has been hijacked by the religious to say it's a God dictate, a God design, a God specification, and has decided that these things are moral. Being gay is immoral. Wearing fabric with 2 different materials is immoral. Showing too much skin is immoral. These are not. It's not morality. These are just random dictates that somebody decided that these would be moral or immoral.
Well, I don't know why you keep bringing up religion. I'm an atheist. Like I don't.
I know, but I mean, it's what we call moral has changed over time. Because
the individual things we think are moral have changed. That's called moral progress. But what we call moral hasn't changed. Morality is a set of principles to differentiate right from wrong. That's always been that. And I mean, I agree with most philosophers. I'm a moral realist. I think yes, morality is objective. Most philosophers are atheists, by the way, and they also think. Well, most philosophers are atheists. Most philosophers believe in moral realism, that morality is objective. It's not subjective. And I agree with this. I think that there is a way, some universes or some ways the world would be more immoral than others. And there are some ways that are objectively better than others. And I think there's a best way it could be. And since there's a best way it could be, there's some principle that could objectively define what morality actually is. And I think that can be shown to be the world where it's impossible to force anyone to do anything they don't consent to doing.
Well, let me ask you this. Are plants moral?
No. Did you hear me? No. No.
Okay. Are insects moral?
Sort of.
How so?
How so? Well, they can have influences. Like, I think anything that is conscious has moral significance. So if insects are conscious, then they have moral significance.
But what are their morals?
What are their morals? Like, their ability to understand morality is very limited, but they are still morally significant entities. Like, it's still immoral to kill them.
Immoral for us to kill them,
Yes.
but they have no
Or
problem killing each other.
their opinions don't matter. Like many psychopaths, I mean, people don't have any problem killing each other. It's your personal opinion is just irrelevant to objective morality. No one's opinions matter to objective morality.
Do you think insects have empathy?
Maybe, maybe not.
My guess would be no. There's no
But
significant
I don't.
signs of empathy.
I don't care about empathy. Empathy is irrelevant to morality, in my view.
So to me, morality is I'm not going to kill people because I know it's wrong, because I don't want somebody to go around killing me or my family members, because I know what it's like to have somebody killed. Or I should say, I can empathize at the idea of knowing what it's like having somebody killed. I am moral because I can empathize. That's how I see it. It's not a programming code. It's not, if morality were part of the physical structure of time and space, everything would be objectively moral. Insects would be objectively moral, which they're not. Birds would be, reptiles would be, plants would be. Everything would be objectively moral.
It doesn't make any sense.
They wouldn't be, well, objective moral only applies to humans, because humans are the only ones that have a moral code.
No, I think any imposition on will is immoral. So if a rock falls on you, that universe is immoral. That state of affairs is immoral. I don't think it has to do with individual agency. I think that's just what we assess as morality. So I think that, again, there is a way the world could be that is the absolute best, which would be one where it's impossible to force anyone to do anything they don't consent to. There's nothing about empathy there. I don't care about empathy. It's about,
so do you think morality is about consent?
Yes.
I'm not even sure how that would work, especially with a rock. If I don't consent to a rock hitting me on the head, I avoid cliffs. But if a rock hits me on the head, I don't see how that's moral or immoral.
Okay, so in our current society, because of our subjective limitations, we see morality as being agent-centered, but there is no choices. Like, we don't make choices. There's no free will. We're all determined by physics. And so when a person is immoral for killing another person, that's no different from a rock falling on someone and killing a person. They're both equally as determined. We just have this subjective perception that we have choice when we don't.
So you see morality as a free will?
No. People don't have free will, and rocks don't have free will. No one has free will.
Well, I would argue that free will is kind of an illusion. The idea that we have no free will is also an illusion.
That seems like a contradiction.
It is kind of, because to me, free will is the last few milliseconds of any decision. We make, it's, if free will were non-existent, a program code could be written for our every behavior.
I think it can.
I cannot conceive of that. So it's hard for me to accept the argument that there's zero free will.
But could you explain that more? So you said that if there would be no free will, if a computer code could be written to do all of our behaviors, and that why is that you said you couldn't imagine that. Why couldn't you imagine that? Like, what's hard to imagine about that?
Well, our behaviors are an if-then program.
Just like computers?
Just like computers. I think the very notion of free will is a very old notion, and it's become a lot more complicated since the idea first arose.
Will, but there is free won't, and no one's ever seemed to disparage that idea that I know of. What do you think? How does that play into this?
I don't see that as any different. I don't think changing the will to the won't makes any difference. It's still the free part is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, free will is we're all interplayed off each other. So we're all running off of each other's programs, so to speak. And
I don't know what that means.
well, it means if I were by myself, if I was the only person in existence in the natural world, interacting with everything in nature, my behavior is dictated by. So my behavior, is dictated by things outside of me. But I still have choice of. I don't see how free will, whether I fart, whether I burp, whether I blink my eyes,